Coach, thanks. We are about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Denver Broncos and our home team. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, look, 3.
5.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Second and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again second and 10.
Ready, go.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Ready.
And that
60
false
out
start
long.
penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Check, 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 check.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Back to throw. Whitaker. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
X3, 218, chopper. Yep.
Motion.
Ready.
Now Gordon on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Back.
61, matchbox lights.
Check 24, check 24. Check 3.
Look at me. Go. 2.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down.
Hey, Charlie.
47.
Go.
Operating from the gun, Whitaker. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
On second down and 4. Lock. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He may try and run for this. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On second and goal, Lock looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, but now it's third and goal. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on first and goal, a great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at third and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. Fourth down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Hey, exit.
To throw on third down, Whitaker. And the throw there going to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
The Broncos take over first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And the Broncos first down.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Block now on first down. Now he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a second down coming up. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Locke. Screen pass to Lindsey. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Throwing now is Locke. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Block now on first down. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Jerry Tillery. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. On 2nd down, here's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Bravo.
Throwing his Locke on 3rd down. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
General West. Ready.
He'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch twist. Watch shoot.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
All right. Here we go. Let's go, B. Let's go.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Get it.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And an alley to run. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and get enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Freeman. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Hey, Haywood!
From the 27, Locke. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. It's complete to Grant. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Locke now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
18 Gator. Let's go, D. Go.
On 2nd and 2, Locke. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Grant. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Ready.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Locke. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Go. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
They'll run with Lindsey. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos push further out in front.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hey, you don't want to see me.
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 7 at the 24-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
What's the run? They're running it.
Come. Ready.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Get that quarterback, D-line.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for L.A. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returnable for Grant. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total.
49.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Locke. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Locke. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And this is complete. It's Allen. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. They come out here in the I. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
On,
2nd and goal from the 1.
I know he ain't got it.
They'll run it with Johnson. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. This time able to hold on to the football, but not much room to run.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Melvin Gordon, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's gonna be a long day offense. It's gonna be a long.
Hey, Foxtrot. Ready?
Lock to throw on 2nd down. Got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 45-yard line.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Locke. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
3rd and 13.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down.
Smooth. Watch 49. I got you. Play. Watch 49. Watch 49.
On 3rd and long, it's locked. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. The Broncos send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And now running right through it. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
I got one. Rush in.
Looking to throw. Whitaker. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get it. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going.
Hey, Echo.
Throwing after the interception. Whitaker. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Going deep here for Allen. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. You won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10.
Slide. No.
80 weapons. Hey, high 7.
47's the mic, boy, 47.
Shine.
First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 15 of the year and second of the game. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense,
and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Give me the ball every time, fellas. I'm going to score.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Royce Freeman, his second touchdown of the night. And the Broncos push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Give them 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, Whitaker. Flushed out right. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Down. 60 or. Look at me. Go. Now.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jakeem Grant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Check, 47. Right here, right here. 60.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry. We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Throwing on first down. Whitaker. He completes it to Henry. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, it's Gordon. And an alley to run. There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 43 yards. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Now the Charger offense will stay on the field as they'll line up to go for the 2-point try. Back to throw. Whitaker escaping the pressure right. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Let's go. 8, read.
Ready?
Hey, Sam off. Switch it. 2.
This is Freeman on first and 10. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Freeman.
You ain't doing nothing today.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Denver, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the dance. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damagers. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Lead the leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet.